Welcome to the Dawgs Table. Hosted by Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates. Get access to special guests, anyone can join the Dawgs Table. Find the link to join the show in the comments when we go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, and everywhere on the BIGPLAY network. Here's your hosts, Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates.
Normally, some fat guy would start screaming, we are live, but we already know that. So let me bring in my cohort here on the dog table. Let me bring in Craig Fountain. Craig, what's going on?
Let's go. I'm loving the Aviators.
Go Browns. Nah, Browns.
Go Browns.
So I'm piggybacking off my other show, and I'm going to try to keep this straight face throughout this show. I've had a lot of sausage. I've had a lot of Bud Lights. Actually, Labatt Blue Lights, because we were presented by Labatt Blue Lights. Actually, it's Labatt Blue Seltzers over here for this fat guy. But little pierogies, little cupcakes. You know, that's how we roll.
All right. We have a special guest today. We have in the studio with us Justin with the 330 Sports Show. How's it going, Justin?
I'm doing well. Jared and Craig, thanks for inviting me on.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you. We're going to talk Cleveland Browns. We're coming off of a win going into a big Steelers week. For those of you, if this is your first time joining the show, this is the Dawgs Table, a Cleveland Browns roundtable discussion. Anybody can join. We are going to post a link in the comments about halfway through the show, right around 8:30. You can click that link from the comments, join the show, come video chat with us, just like calling into a radio show, but with the video chat. So anybody can join. If you would like, you can comment, and we can display your comments and interact with you that way as well. So with that being said, Fatty, how are you feeling coming off this win? I mean, we outlast the Denver Broncos 17-14. Case Keenum played okay, right?
He did. He's no Baker Mayfield, but he did good.
All right. And the defense definitely played a role here. Case Keenum did enough to win and kept us from getting in a position to where we were in danger of losing. It got a little scary there at the end, if you ask me. But Justin, what were your thoughts on the Browns Broncos game?
Yeah, like you said, I think the defense really kept them in check the first half. I think Denver had something like 2 first downs in the entire first half. And again, like you said too, Keenum did just enough, did all the simple stuff that you expect a good backup quarterback to do to win. And obviously, you had guys like Dearness Johnson filling huge roles and huge holes to fill last week for, our injury report that was like 20 guys deep. So
outstanding. And we are going to go to our first segment that we do every week. It was good to touch on that game. We'll dive in a little deeper, I'm sure, here in just a few, but we are going to do this week's Twitter poll of the week. Here we go. All right. So, Twitter poll of the week. Are you ready, Fatty?
Always ready for Twitter poll of the week. By the way, if you want to sponsor our Twitter poll of the week, why don't you hit us up here on Dawgs Table or on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Thank you.
Fatty can be the face of your franchise. You know, I don't know that there's a better face for a franchise out there. We'll see. All right, Fatty, here's the question. The Browns are 4-3. There's question marks on offense, especially a quarterback. What is your confidence level in the defense to carry us through to a playoff push? What are your thoughts? Here's what the options were. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Confident, not confident, oh hell no, and fire Joe Woods.
Oh, well, I got to go with fire Joe Woods, but I got to go. I'm still not confident yet because it's been a couple crappy teams that we have shut out. So I'm still not there yet, but they keep playing the way they've been. We're going to have to lean on this defense for our playoff run.
All right. So the link, guys, is going up at 8:30. And this is Barry. I think this is Barry, Fatty. What do you think?
It's always Barry.
He's having a conversation. He must have Facebook profiles for his dogs or something. Okay. That is Max and Judge. All right. Justin, where does your confidence level rank in the Browns defense to carry us through to a playoff push? When we wrote this, there's a lot of uncertainty moving forward, right? So we don't know how long Case Keenum's going to be in there. We know Kareem Hunt's going to be out for a while. We have injuries all around. We have guys that are playing banged up. Jarvis is banged up. Odell's banged up. Nick Chubb, hopefully he's back this week. Let's get your pulse on the situation. How confident are you in our defense?
The defense, I think a big guy that we're missing, one of the guys that just flies around, makes tackles, one of the most unique guys, JOK, is missing with the I think he's on the IR right now for 3 to 4 more weeks.
High ankle sprain.
Yeah, high ankle sprain. So those him and Hunt have the same injury, I believe, and you just never know with a high ankle sprain. But if we get him back, I'm a lot more confident in the kind of the final weeks push. But out of your options that you listed, I'm going to go with not confident. I guess that's the second highest on the levels. It was either confident or not confident. So I'm going to go not confident. I'm not quite to the fire Joe Woods situation yet, but I think the Browns are pretty good defensively on first and second down. It's when we get to those late down situations that they really struggle. I think we're 28th in the league or something on third down. And obviously that's where you make your money, third down. So, I'm confident on those first 2 downs, but the, third down, and if you're playing the Chargers, fourth down is where I'm not confident.
Barry, how did you make your way in here? Did you just hack us?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. It just popped up. Text message popped up on my phone with the link, and I clicked it.
Okay. We have a leak in the studio. Barry.
Was not this guy over here, by the way.
What's your confidence level in the Browns defense to carry us through to a playoff push, considering all the question marks on offense, specifically at quarterback?
I'm with, I don't know this guy here that just spoke, but
Justin.
Justin, this is BJ. This is Hookers and Blow over here.
Well, cheers. I'm drinking bourbon, so here we go.
Right, there we go.
They do
Let's get down the road quick.
Well on second down, but it could be 3rd and 14 and they get 15 or 14 and an inch. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of Joe Woods, but I think he's on a short leash.
Or 18 play drive that scores a touchdown. Who the hell has 18 plays on a 100-yard field?
If you can go 18 plays, I mean, I kind of got all right, that's a lot of football. They earned it.
Yeah, but it was mostly third down longs that they screwed up.
Yeah, I know.
Also, something I forgot to bring up at the beginning of the show, because it's there's been some changes with Twitter and Periscope. If you are watching on Twitter, if you want to comment on the show as opposed to joining so that we can display your link or your comment just like this, we and address it and talk with you.
Good looking.
It's a good looking dog. You can actually do that at YouTube and Facebook. Periscope went away, and then Twitter did not pick up the slack on letting the comments show up here in the studio. So we will try to monitor the actual Twitter posts for comments, but they don't come right into the studio. But
is that my job?
Sure. Why not? That sounds like you volunteered for it.
All right, boy. All right, let me log in.
All right.
Glasses.
What's that?
We are being the Browns super fans. The Browns.
So, all right. So we have the Twitter poll now. A game we like to play with the guests. Justin, did you peek at the results of this?
I did not.
Okay. All right. So what do you think on Twitter? Which option got the most votes? And what percentage do you think they are? So we have confident, not confident, oh hell no, and fire Joe Woods.
Well, I'm going to just preface this with, since it was on Twitter,
right?
And I know our fan base very well. I think so. I'm going to go. The leading vote getter was fire Joe Woods, and I'm going to say 34%.
Okay. All right. So here's the results. Not confident won the vote with 40% of the vote. Confident about 30%. Fire Joe Woods came in at third, 19.1%. Oh hell no, 10%.
Okay.
I was expecting kind of the same thing as you were, Justin. We do have to preface. Man, I can't talk tonight. I haven't had enough Labatt Blue. We do need to preface it with on Twitter. So we love you, Twitter followers. I love Brown's Twitter, but sometimes we get emotional.
I'm watching any comments that come in on Twitter.
All
right, perfect.
Beer as a sponsor.
What's that?
Why do we have a Canadian beer as a sponsor?
BJ. you all right, so I know you're a Busch Latte guy, but Labatt Blue's pretty good.
I'm a fan of Canadian beer, but I'm a Molson guy. I know that too.
Oh man, he's trying to get banned from the studio.
I want to hear your Labatt Blue pitch. I'm setting you up here to take it home.
Labatt Blue is delicious, and it comes from the northern Great Lakes there in Canada, and that water up there is pure, along with maple syrup.
Bobby, if you don't drink Labatt Blue, boop you.
Right, exactly. Labatt Blue. All right, so the Browns outlasted the Broncos. We are going to get into our Dogs of the Week. Now, every week we do a Dogs of the Week segment, and here's what happens. We feature our Dog of the Week, an adoptable dog, through the City Dogs of Cleveland, who we've partnered with. And Jesus Christ.
I can't even.
All right. So on a more serious note, we are going to feature an adoptable dog, and then we're going to get into our offensive defensive Dogs of the Week. And here we go. All right, so
by the way, there is a delay on Twitter, and I saw the nipple again.
That's unfortunate. All right, so oh man, this is tough being ADD trying to.
I'm sorry,
trying to navigate the
Dogs of the Week is now going on Twitter.
All right,
this is the point where Craig yells at his kids and says he's overstimulated.
Right. Here we go. We have Ollie, and Ollie has been at the kennel for 6 whole months, and it's unfortunate. And here is what the canine enrichment specialist there had to say. Lauren says, I have no idea why he doesn't get more interest. He's hilarious and sweet, smart, and goofy. He doesn't always come across as affectionate, but once he burns off his stress energy, he loves sharing some snuggles. He can get a little jumpy and mouthy. But for being at a kennel for 6 whole months, a little jumpy mouthy is far better than most. Honestly, I think once he settles into a home and burns through some decompression and craziness, he's going to be a pretty perfect dog to someone who recognizes what a great little guy they've stumbled across. Again, that's from Canine Enrichment Specialist Lauren. And you can contact the City Dogs of the Week about Ollie or any of their other dogs at 216-664-3476 or on Twitter at CityDogsCLE or at City Dogs Cleveland on Facebook. And keep in mind, the Barktober from October 16th through the 31st, time is running out. $21 adoptions. You can be a Dogs Forever home, help out in a big way for only $21. And there you go. That's the City Cleveland. City Dogs of Cleveland Dog of the Week.
You are forgetting something. You can also find them at the Dog Pound.
Yes.
They're at section 121 at a concession stand. You can donate. You can buy food from them. All the purchases go to them. So please go visit them at the Dog Pound.
Section 121.
They serve great sausage. Pretty sure some mac and cheese, some nachos, jalapenos. Anything gives you like 13 heart attacks. Go get them.
All right. There you go. Ringing endorsement, Fatty. All right. Let's go to the offensive dog of the week. This is going to be a pretty easy one to predict. Or will it be? Fatty, give me your offensive dog of the week.
I gotta go with one, Dearness Johnson. That guy hands down won us the game. Especially with the third down run with a few minutes left and him shedding like 6 tackles and getting the first down. And also, kudos. You got a tweet from LeBron James. I have not got one of those yet. I would like it, but I doubt I'll get it. But, buddy, you did great. You came out with your hair on fire, and you ran over a whole shit ton of people. So, Dearness Johnson is my offensive dog of the week.
All right, Justin, let's go to you. Who would you choose as your offensive dog of the week? Doesn't have to be different. It can be the same.
Okay. Well, I was going to go Dearness Johnson, but, I figured I'd go a little bit off the board. But I'm going to go to Jed Wills, and here's why. I'm going to go Jed Wills because Jed Wills allowed our right tackle to move over, Blake Hance to play right tackle with Conklin out, and that allowed James Hudson not to be on the field, get some more time to kind of take it in because he's not quite ready yet. And, that offensive line, I think, as a whole, really churned out and helped Dearness, get those yards. Dearness earns it, but I think that O-line and Jed Wills deserves a lot of credit.
And here you got Jason Hand. Dearness Johnson went beast mode. Absolutely. He was hard to bring down. And there's an interesting stat about his first start in the NFL we're going to get to a little bit later in the show. BJ, who's your offensive dog of the week?
I was, Dearness, you can't say enough. Everybody knows that. I made a post earlier in the week about Jedrick Willis. I don't think he's in the ball game if he doesn't play. I don't. But honestly, I'm going to go even further. My dog of the week is OBJ.
Do explain.
Well, did you hear Stefanski, his interview about him and what that guy did to play this week, just to play, to be on that field, knowing that, and then when Donovan Peoples-Jones went down, he probably should have came out of the game, but the guy sucked it up and he grinded it through to be on the field. When he's on the field, he takes attention. So it's more about, it's not so much about stats, but it's about, him sucking it up and being a team player that week and doing what he needed to do to be on the field. And OBJ gets a lot of bad rap about being selfish. And, I think he earned a shout out for sure, because it's.
Hey, I seen some of his rim blocking. When you can lay out a linebacker, yeah, you're good.
He's definitely not scared to sacrifice his body. This was the game where he re-aggravated that injury diving, trying to keep his feet in bounds for that ball that was already over the white line, which I think he actually had a shot at. Like he knows it's going to hurt. He's not afraid to play tough, get in there and get dirty, even if he's hurting. I don't think people give him credit for his toughness. It may not translate into production all the time, which in this game, he didn't have the best game from a production standpoint. But you got to give him kudos for being tough, and I'm with you guys. Yeah.
30-second timeout. Labatt blue.
Timeout.
All right, let's go.
I guess I got to give you some Labatt Blue now.
Right? We do got to get some Labatt Blue for you.
Them
But
things that covers the can that says Labatt Blue.
the koozies?
Yeah, because I quit. Well, I quit drinking alcohol, so I'm going to just support it. That's a lie. But
I was about to go, what? Like, all right. I got my whole case right here, BJ. You're only a few minutes away.
By the way, what Craig has not told you guys yet, we are working on our next live show.
Yes.
We are in the work trying to get into Nico's Bar and Gyro in North Royalton, Ohio, which is a Browns backers bar. And Legal Ham and a little bit of Dawgs Table should be there. I should know something by the end of the week.
All right. Looking forward to doing another live show or two. And if you guys have a suggestion where you would like to come and see us live, send it our way. If it's in the Northeast Ohio area, maybe we can make something work.
Can we go back to the Brick House?
Yes.
I had a great time there.
Yes. Sebring's finest.
Picklebacks, food. Oh, such a great time. And I got to meet BJ there.
Yeah. Sebring isn't, you don't just stumble upon Sebring. Like you kind of got to go out of your way a little bit to get there. But if you stumble into Sebring, the Brick House is where you want to land. So, all right. My offensive dog of the week, if that's all right, Fatty, you good?
I guess.
All right. My offensive dog of the week, and I'm going to go contrarian here just because we talked about Jed. We talked about D'Ernest. There's your low-hanging fruit, Jared. We talked about OBJ. I'm going to go Case Keenum. And one of the things that I liked about Case Keenum in this game wasn't necessarily his box score. It wasn't necessarily the production. It wasn't necessarily his game management. It was his leadership and watching him get fired up far more than, Case Keenum doesn't have a reputation for being a fiery guy, carrying that energy that guys like Baker Mayfield carry or Aaron Rodgers can carry on the sideline. Case, if you were watching, he was all over the place. He was leading and he was firing his guys up, trying to elevate them. I think he kept them energized, and it was good to see because that's an intangible that when Baker leaves the field, forget the arm. When Baker leaves the field, that's an intangible that's extremely hard to replace on the field.
By the way, kudos, stones on that guy for scrambling to get a fourth down.
Yes.
Stones on that guy.
What a team win, huh? What a team win.
It was an actual team win.
All right. So no red leg tonight. Where are you at, red leg?
He's working.
He's working.
We've already discussed this on a Legal Ham.
Okay.
Barry's out.
Barry's out. Defensive dog of the week, Justin. I'm going to let you go first on this one. Who's your defensive dog of the week?
Yeah, I was thinking defensive line at first, but I'm going to go John Johnson III because I think he's been playing a little bit of a different position than he's used to. He's playing that deep safety role, and he's not 100% comfortable with it yet, but he was able to get that interception in the first half against Bridgewater. I think it was in the first half. I can't remember.
Yes, it was.
But, obviously he kind of like baited him into that throw. He kind of faked like he was going to go for the crossing route, went back. Do you guys know, was he wearing the green dot this week or was it Walker?
I did not see it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he was or not, but he's a leader on that back end, especially that a group that's been much maligned this year throughout the first 6 games before that. So I'm going to go JJ the 3.
All right, Fatty, who do you got?
Anybody that gets mugged, stabbed, mom's car stolen, grandma's pension taken, face masked, fish hooked, and still gets 1.5 snacks, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett all day. That guy is a stud upon studs. And if they actually do call the holding calls that they should call, just saying, and get the kielbasa out of their mouth before they throw the flag, that's where they got to be. Because Myles Garrett is, this year he has been, ever since that he called out the defense and then realized it was himself, he has been on a whole different playing field. And to watch him get, honestly, you remember you ever have the one where the guy puts the two fingers in your nose and then pulls you back? He had one of those for a sack. So, hey, pull the flag out of your pocket, call holding, and let's get on with this.
There was one play in general towards the end of the game where he got held, he got his face mask grabbed, and he had a hand to the face. So there was 3 penalties on one play. None of them were called at all.
I bet you that left tackle had a shiv in his pocket too. I want him patted down after the game.
And if I'm not mistaken, on that same play, I think he still ran Bridgewater down.
Yeah,
he did.
Absolutely. Bridgewater got kind of banged up. I'm surprised they didn't pull him. I was fully expecting Drew Lock to end up in there, but I don't think it would have mattered really too much for us, but yeah. All right. So that is our offensive and defensive dogs of the week. I'm getting a little bit of delay here on my screen. Are you guys good? Is anybody frozen?
We are good.
All right, perfect. So we have a mini bye week for the Browns. How much of an impact is this going to have? Is it going to help us? Fatty, let's hear it.
Yeah, it's going to help us huge. We get Nick Chubb back. Conklin is back practicing. Gives the guys a little extra time. Now, I asked this to my big fella on my show, and I'm going to bring it to you because Craig and I talked about it earlier. Do you think that the Cleveland Browns should have put Baker Mayfield on the IR before the Denver Broncos game to give him a couple weeks to heal this thing up instead of trying to rush him back?
That's a tough one.
Thank you. Hold on. Got it.
I'm gonna say probably, because I think you got to almost save him from himself. He's gonna want to play at all costs, but whatever the doctors are telling him, people smarter than us three, right now looking at his injury, I trust in them. So whatever they're telling him, I say he's got to do. But I don't know. I think if he's not right, you got to shut it down at least for 3 weeks, like you said.
Craig,
I'm indifferent on this one. It's tough because part of me wants to just say, they should just sit him, let him rest, no pressure. But I would rather have, I think, a 60% Baker Mayfield out there rather than 100% Case Keenum. He's, I don't know. I don't want to see any long-term damage done. That's where I'm struggling. I don't know how much of a long, huh?
I understand what you're saying, but that gives him the Denver game, the Steelers game, and this Sunday. Who do they play Sunday? Cincinnati.
It's Steelers week. We have Steelers, Denver, and then
what after this?
The Bengals.
Yeah,
Bengals. So that's 2 divisional games that he'll have to sit out, but he might be more healthier to come back after those 3 weeks.
If I had to guess, and I'm not in the front office, but if I had to guess, the Bengals game is why they didn't. Because the Bengals right now are in first place in the AFC North. They just opened a can of whoop ass on the Ratbirds, but
they didn't know that during the Denver game.
They didn't know that, but Cincinnati was already 4-2. It's one of those things where obviously they see Cincinnati trending upwards. I mean, these are Ivy League guys. If we can see it, surely they can. I think that they're not as threatened by Pittsburgh as they are with Cincinnati, but maybe they were okay if Baker missed Denver, missed Pittsburgh. Maybe it's that Cincinnati game where they're like, listen, he's going to have almost 3 weeks to heal up by then to feel better. And that's a must-win game. I mean, that one could have playoff implications. I can't believe I'm saying that about Cincinnati right now. If you would have asked me a few weeks ago, I would have said you were crazy. But, it's where we are.
By the way, on this show, it's Northern Kentucky.
Northern Kentucky. You're right.
Northern Kentucky. All right.
Okay, so let's see here. We completely skipped over the box score stuff. That's all right.
I'm sorry. I had to ask the question.
All right. So we have Steelers week, and let's kind of get into the game. All right. So the biggest question I think so far is who's going to play quarterback, right? That's what everybody wants to know. Fatty.
Case Keenum.
Yeah, Baker's not on IR. Right?
Case Keenum.
Yep. I feel like you already made your argument for Case Keenum. The fact that they're not putting Baker on IR, that doesn't change your perspective here.
Case Keenum.
All right.
I think it's good. The reason why is against Case Keenum. Let me get out of character here. The reason why is because I think Case Keenum, that gives him 2 full weeks to actually work with the offense. And you get Nick Chubb back. You have your starting wide receivers. And let's see where it goes from there, because he's good enough to manage a game, especially against Dinosaur Roethlisberger.
All right. And Justin, what do you think? Are you thinking Baker Mayfield? Well, let me ask you this, because really it's not up to Baker Mayfield. He would have liked it to have been against Denver. He said the day before, like, nobody's going to stop me from playing. Right. They absolutely stopped him from playing. What do you expect, though? What do you expect to hear?
I'm leaning Case Keenum to play this game as well. I don't know what they did today, but I know Keenum practiced yesterday and Mayfield did not. So I think that tells that Monday's sort of the extra day they get this week with the playing on Thursday. But I'm going to say Keenum plays, although, Craig, I'm kind of with you I would take a 75% Baker Mayfield over, 100% Case Keenum. But if Keenum gives you the best chance to win this week, I think that's the route to go.
All right. I am expecting to hear that Case Keenum's going to get the start. The Steelers are certainly struggling, even though they're on some sort of win streak or whatever. But, I'm not really threatened by them. They are on a win streak, right? I'm not making that up.
They're on a bye.
They're on a bye, but they're coming off of a couple wins. But, I'm really not feeling like any panic about not having Baker for this game. Nick Chubb's expected to play. All right. That's been reported by Sports Illustrated and a number of media outlets. Nick Chubb's expected to play. Having him back, having Dearness Johnson and Demetric Felton behind him. Jarvis Landry's been practicing, so we'll have him.
I think Jack Conklin might be back.
If we have Conklin back, like, my confidence level goes through the roof. The line is the biggest issue. So Case Keenum. All right. So here we go. This past game, Case Keenum he was 21 of 33 for 199 and a touchdown. Let's say he gets the start versus the Steelers. We know what the Steelers have to offer. Over under 200 yards passing. Jared, what do you think?
Over.
And Justin, what do you think?
I'm going to go under.
You're going to go under. I think that I would also take the over, but I'd like to go under. I think if it ends up being under 200, that means we're running the ball right, and we're running down the game clock. So that could be.
You got to factor in that the way the Pittsburgh blitzes, you throw a nice little screen pass for 30 yards.
Right.
You got the guys to do it with Demetric Felton, with Ashley Schwartz, with even a tight end screen. So.
All right. So, Dearness Johnson had a massive game, right? He had, let me pull it up here, 22 for 146 and a touchdown. Clearly, if Nick Chubb plays, he's going to take a backseat to Nick Chubb. Are we going to see more involvement from Dearness Johnson after this game? Is he going to play a Kareem Hunt-esque role moving forward? Will he see snaps like Kareem Hunt was seeing? Justin, what do you think?
I'm going to say for this game, yes. Going forward, no. I'm going to say for this game, yes, because I think Nick Chubb, we want to get him back in the game. We want to get him going and grinding. And but I think they want to be careful with him throughout the more of a long-term situation. But you also got to win this game, so whatever it takes. But I think Dearness Johnson probably gets half I think he gets around 10, 11 carries in this game.
Okay, Fatty, what do you think about this? Is Nick Chubb going to be 3 downs, 25 carries?
I don't know.
No?
I think what's going to happen is that the Browns get out to an early lead and they can actually control the game. I think you're going to see a heavy Dearness Johnson in the second half to give a little bit of time to Nick Chubb. Yeah, Nick Chubb's going to play. He's going to get his touches. But I have a feeling if they do have the lead, I think it's going to be the Dearness Johnson show there towards the end of the game and let him kind of use his legs because they're fresh legs. I mean, let's be honest.
All right. So we have that taken care of. And fun fact, I mentioned earlier, Dearness Johnson had the most rush yards by an undrafted player in their first start since Willie Parker in 2005. Fatty, I was telling you yesterday, it doesn't seem like it was 2005 when Willie Parker was trotting onto the field. But here we are. All right, let's get that out of here. Fatty, offensive key to the game versus the Steelers. Let's hear it.
I think you got to neutralize whatever their pass rush has to do. So whether it be draws, whether it be screen passes, quick passes like they have been. Also, you got to do the power move. Offensive line, you have got to take over that game. And you did it last game. I need the offensive line to impose their will on this defense. And if they do, they've done it before. If they do, this game is over with and we can move on to the next match. But right now, I need that offensive line to man up and do it again.
All right, Justin, thoughts on how we need to approach this offensively. We've already talked about how we need to be running the ball. How do we attack the Steelers defense here?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of what Jared said. I agree. I think this is a pound the Steelers. They are going to be aggressive. They're going to blitz. I like the idea of the screen game playing a big factor. I like draws. I like, just Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson just attacking probably whatever side TJ Watt's going to line up on and going after him.
By the way, Justin, they're all the same. They got
they all eat that Subway, right?
LJ, they got a SJ, they got yeah, you're fine.
But I liked what the Raiders did to the Steelers early in the year. They ran a lot of 13 personnel. I think you're going to see a lot of 3 tight end sets for the Browns. Maybe get OBJ up, open deep in this game. I think we need to showcase him a little bit more, but yeah, I think you ground and pound them, and hopefully you get the tight ends involved and maybe a deep one to OBJ.
All right. So, the game plan, I think, is pretty clear on offense. I trust Case Keenum in the run game. I trust the coaches to get this done. It's refreshing to not really be fearful of playing the Steelers. With that being said, we've Ben Roethlisberger is 24-2-1 against the Browns in the regular season.
It's bad.
That's one of those scary records. It's kind of like the curse for the first game of the year, where we can't seem to go 1-0. Where it's like eventually it's going to have to be broken, but even when it seems most likely, it never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, we have my other favorite ginger.
Crispin, what's happening?
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you, bud?
Good.
Oh,
Is my wife,
look at
nice.
my
that.
sister there? Oh, snap. He got a Dawgs Table, buddy. By the
That
way, if
came
you want to
quick.
find our merchandise, please go to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
I will
Or
post
get
a
a
link in the
Crispin.
comments.
Yeah, I was surprised it came so fast.
Nice. So, hey, who's your offensive key to the game for this one against the Steelers?
Offensive key to the game. I'm going to go with the tight end, and I'm going with Njoku. I have a feeling, the way Steelers, they got so many blitz packages that I got a feeling that our tight ends can get open behind it, whether it's through the screen game like you were talking about, or just simple crossing patterns, kind of right behind that zone blitz. I think David Njoku.
So Justin, just so you know, Barry is Craig's brother-in-law.
Okay.
Chris is my brother-in-law.
Oh wow.
So,
It's a family affair here.
we have to be here. I mean, it's
I love it.
It gets interesting, that's for sure.
By the way, I like the merch too. That looks good.
Appreciate it. We actually, how do you like it, Chris?
Super comfy.
Super comfy, outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
So I went ahead and posted the merch link in the comments of the show. YouTube, it may show up, it may not. They're weird about it, but there is a merch link where you can order the merch. Chris, how fast did you get the hoodie after you ordered it? Had to have been super fast.
Yeah, I think I ordered it on damn it, I don't know, maybe Friday.
Okay, and you already have it.
I was drinking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Friday, and I already got it. It said between November 1st and 7th or something like that, but yeah, it came quick.
All right, outstanding. So the merch link is in the comments. We are actually raising money to upgrade our equipment that would be specifically used for our live shows. We do live shows at tailgates. We do fan meetups, charity events, bars, restaurants. We've done all these things, and we have all this great studio equipment. It doesn't translate real well into live shows. All right. So me and Jared are like fist fighting each other by the time we go live, trying to figure out how to get all the wires to go in correctly. So we are upgrading our equipment. We want to have equipment to go live more often, make it smoother, deliver you a better product when we're in a remote location. So there we go. That's what we're raising money for. All the proceeds from the merch will go to that cause. And it's already going to that cause. Plus, side note, Jared, we didn't talk about this. I did some fundraising on my own over the weekend.
I helped.
You did help. All right.
Craig, we got in a poker tournament with BIGPLAY, and Craig came out on top. He ended up with a royal flush to knock out a full house.
Wow.
Yes.
And if you want to see the reaction to it, go to our Twitter page. The video is there. Craig got a ace, king, queen, jack, 10 of spades to knock out a full house, aces over queens. Wow. And you know what the great thing about it was? I was dealing. I flipped over the 10 of spades for him. So, bonus for us.
Fortunately, nobody called collusion.
How could they? I was the only one dealing.
All right, so let me see if I can pull this up here on my other screen, because I might be able to do that. All right, let's see what we got here.
What is that? Like 1 in 60,000 or something like that?
It's
never seen,
definitely rare.
I've never seen Craig actually lose his stuff. You guys zoom in on the video. There we go.
All right, we're going to start at the beginning.
You got to turn the volume up. I don't know how to do that.
Is there no audio?
There is no audio.
Okay.
But this was all of us at, I was dealing, as you can see me there paused.
You look like Teddy KGB in Rounders.
He felt really like it. He was doing the Oreos to the ear and everything.
I'm not sure how to get the audio when I play it on the computer to come through StreamYard, but
well, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so it happened, but I went ahead and we started purchasing equipment between that and some of the merch proceeds. So we're almost all the way there. So that'll be awesome.
The great thing is you don't have a mixer, but I do. Keep going. Keep going. I'm working on this. Keep going. I'm working on this.
Defensive.
Like, the Oreos to the ear and everything. See?
Now I'm getting something else.
Yeah, it was us. I'll get it.
All right.
I'll get it. Are we doing defensive key to the game?
Yeah, let's do defensive key to the game. All right. Justin, I'll let you go first. What's your defensive key to the game? How do we stop the Steelers?
get after Roethlisberger and make him make mistakes. Najee Harris is going to get his yards. That's fine. But get after Roethlisberger. Hopefully sack him 3 or more times. Oh,
I got the audio.
All right, we'll let Justin finish his thought, and then we can go back to the audio.
I mean, no, that's about it. It's going to be, for us, it's going to be as exciting as that royal flush. But sack Roethlisberger's ass as many times as you can, or hit him, make him feel it, get him on the ground, and hopefully he makes a bunch of mistakes like in that playoff game last year.
All right, Fatty, what do you got?
Are we ready for the audio?
Sure.
Royal flush! That is unbelievable! Instant reaction. BigPlay.com!
That was the end of it.
Royal flush! That is unbelievable! Instant reaction. BigPlay.com!
Oh man, so they only caught the end of it on video because nobody was expecting it. But yeah, it was an awesome poker game. It was a fun with the guys. David, Big Play, Nick Paulus was there. A couple other guys were there. So great to network and meet everybody and play some poker. Hopefully we get invited back.
I doubt it now. After that,
I doubt it. Chris, defensive key to the game.
I wanted to say get after Ben Roethlisberger, but I will go ahead and I think we can stop Najee Harris in the run game. But the way that Roethlisberger, he can't throw down the field. Let's just face it. He's old and should be in a home, but I like it when he starts. He dinks and dunks a lot, and Najee Harris out of the backfield, I think we need to stop him there. So maybe Anthony Walker, whoever's marking up on him. I don't know who that's going to be, but stopping those short passes, because Roethlisberger, he doesn't have that confidence to be able to stay in the pocket anymore and not go down. So he throws short, and he throws short to Najee Harris a lot. So that's what I see is stopping the short Najee Harris passes.
So I think personally, before we go to Fatty, I think it's going to be turnovers and momentum. I mean, look at the game last year where the ball goes over Roethlisberger's head. We recover the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. They never get that momentum back. It's, turnovers and momentum are so important, and I think that's where it's going to come into play. Hopefully they're throwing the ball. Hopefully that means we're picking it off. If they're running the ball a lot with Najee Harris, we're doing something wrong. It's going to be kind of the flip of the great game script that we want. If they're up, they're going to run it. But Chris is absolutely right. You got to watch out for that screenplay to Najee because he can be dangerous. Fatty, thoughts?
I'm going to go with man press. I want to see Ward. I want to see Newsome. I want to see Greedy. I want to see Troy Hill. I want to see our safeties down in the box. And I want to dare Big Ben to beat us with his arm because I don't think he can. And the good thing about that is gives Myles Garrett just that extra half second to get on Big Ben's ass. So I think you should play a lot of man press and not this zone bullshit and actually force them to beat you passing. Because if you load 8 in the box, play man press, Najee Harris ain't going to do anything. So that's where you have to go. I think that's the biggest key to this game.
All right. Do we have a Fatties on fire this week before we get into predictions or no?
Of course we do.
All right. Where's your shades?
Oh, I'm not going to bring them on. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
So last week on Fatties on Fire, you might as well keep everybody in here because I love it. I went off on JJ the third because he hasn't showed up. But guess what? Look what happens. Makes a couple key tackles, gets a wonderful interception. Also challenged the defense because this is the game that we needed it. Here is Fatties on Fire this week. I need to see our tight ends take over this game. All three of them, Bryant, Hooper, and Njoku, because I think it's going to be you three that close out this game along with Nick Chubb. You three are going to take over the middle of that offense, and every time TJ Watt blitzes, I want to see one of you guys wide open right behind him. I want to see you guys running downfield with your hair on fire and running through people. I want to see at least one of you with 100 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. And the other one, 50 yards receiving. I don't care which one it is. We have 3 legit tight ends. I want to see you guys show up. An offensive line, you're coming back healthy. We don't know who the quarterback is. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's going to be on that offensive line also to help us out for a win. So that is this Fatty's on fire. And he's muted. Of course, Craig's muted. My Lord, you're muted. Why are you muted?
I quit.
I go.
All right.
All right. Not as animate as it is if they lose. I'm sorry. If they lose, I just want to flip tables and kick the shit out of people. But
let's get into our predictions, and we're gonna predict the score and the over/under. Let me pull up the line real quick so we can see where it's currently at right now. And I think I know which way this is going to go. Fatty, have you looked at the line yet? If you have, don't say it.
I don't care about the line. It doesn't.
Why not?
It doesn't matter.
Sure it does.
I don't bet on it.
Right? It's fun to talk about. Come on.
Okay. Well, if you want the line, I think it's Cleveland by 3.
Cleveland by 3 is what you think the line is. Chris, what do you... If you had to predict the line, you think it's higher than that?
I do.
What do you think it is?
I think Cleveland 5.5.
All right, Justin, have you seen the line?
I know what the line is.
You know what the line is.
Of course you are.
Right. And I know, Fatty, you're on the money. It's Browns by 3. All right. What do you think the over/under is, Fatty?
What about 44, 45?
Ooh, look at you, Chris. What do you think?
I don't know, 44, 45.
It is 43.
Yeah,
it's very close. Very close.
I'm not a degenerate gambler or anything.
No. All right, so Browns by 3. The over/under is 43. Fatty, give me your score and whether or not it's going to be over/under.
I cannot wait for this score because I'm going to go Browns super fan. I'm going to go Browns 78. Pittsburgh Steelers -3. -3 happened. They left Big Ben at Pittsburgh. Forgot him. Had to turn back from Youngstown. They got there late. 78. I'm going to go Nick Chubb, 6 touchdowns, 462 yards. And a little bit of Njoku for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
on your show, didn't you say somebody got syphilis in Youngstown?
I did.
Okay.
I said 86 to -2 or -6 because Pittsburgh stopped off in Youngstown and got syphilis.
All right.
You want me to keep going? Because I can keep doing this all night.
Right.
I'm going to go Browns 102. Mike Tomlin 4. Only because he actually showed up and left his team back home.
He says he's not going to USC, but we'll see about that. Justin, what is your prediction?
Chris cannot keep a straight face right now.
All right, I'm gonna set mine up just a little bit. I think there's gonna be a late drive at the end of the game where Dwayne Haskins drives the Steelers down because Ben Roethlisberger is out of the game, and the Steelers score a late touchdown, but they still do not cover, and the Browns win 24-20 because they were up 24-13, but Haskins drives them down for a late touchdown, and it's 24-20 Cleveland Browns. So the Browns cover and hit the over.
Justin, are you an Ohio State fan?
I am a 2005 Ohio State graduate, so yes.
Okay, all right. It's always interesting to me because I'm not a huge college football fan. So,
by the way, Chris is in Buckeye country over there.
Yes, he is. I am not an Ohio State fan. but I am also neither. I'm not a Michigan fan.
Mhm.
I'm not an SEC fan. So, so I don't really have a dog in the hunt, but it's really interesting how loyal Ohio State fans are to their alum. If you look at Fatty's fantasy team, it's terrible, but it's full of Ohio State guys.
It is not.
All right, so he will
Not
take
even close.
All right, so all the rest of them are Ravens.
Yeah, you call me the Ratbirds because I picked the best tight end, a running quarterback on my fantasy team. Guess what? It's for $100. If it was free, I'd take every Browns player ever.
All right.
Bernie Kosar would still be my quarterback.
Eric Metcalf.
Yeah, but on Twitter especially, it's interesting to see the internal struggle that everybody has emotionally with rooting against an Ohio State alum while they're playing. I feel like when you play fantasy football in Ohio, Ezekiel Elliott is going to be just as overvalued as Nick Chubb. The problem is Ohio State doesn't put out productive NFL quarterbacks.
Right.
So I can't wait to be in a room full of Browns fans trying to figure out how to root against Dwayne Haskins. I'm just saying, if that scenario came up.
Craig,
well,
you got to understand, quarterbacks at Ohio State do not go there to play school. They go there to play quarterback. After that, they end up in strip clubs and other establishments that get them kicked off another team. All right. Allegedly.
Let me just push back just a little bit. With Justin Fields, though, we kind of experienced it a few weeks back, but Justin Fields is basically a sacrificial lamb for that Chicago Bears team. You know, what happened with the Browns, what happened with Tampa this past weekend, he got eaten alive. He has zero chance with that offensive line. I think if you put him on the Patriots, he'd be decent. If you put him on, with some of those rookies, he'd be decent. But yeah, Haskins is a little bit more immature. I think Justin Fields, you let him cook a little bit, he'll be, let him simmer in the oven or whatever you want to say a little bit, he'll be all right. But I agree with you. It's really hard to root against Ohio State guys, but I do not want Cam Hayward. I do not want, when Santonio Holmes was lighting up the Browns, like, part of me is just like, man, I love that guy, but I hate him on Sunday, So.
Yep. Fatty and I co-own a fantasy football team, and 3 rounds too early, we got to take Michael Pittman. We got to take Zeke Elliott. We got to, right?
Yeah. I hear you.
You weren't there to draft. What do you want from me?
The skill positions are solid, though. Can't lie about that.
All right. So I just
By the way, we got Terry McLaurin. He didn't say anything about that.
Yeah.
None of them.
Chris,
give me your predictions for the Browns and Steelers. We're getting off this Ohio State crap. Come on.
Well, here's the thing. The Buckeyes have the second most players in the NFL right now. Anyways, I'm going to go Browns victory 20-14.
20-14.
This is my assumption that Case Keenum is playing.
Okay. Craig, give me your prediction.
I am operating under the assumption that Case Keenum is playing. I'm also going to operate under the assumption that Nick Chubb's going to play. So I'm going to say Cleveland 28, Pittsburgh 17.
What kind of Browns fans are you? I mean, really. I'm over here with 13 heart attacks, Polish sausage, a little bit, see, right there, swallowed duck fat. And you guys are barely picking the Browns to beat the Steelers. Come on.
Roger says 24-17 Brownies. Appreciate your prediction, Roger. Thanks for tuning into the show. All right, so it is time. We're going to close out the show. Justin, stick around for a minute if you don't mind. Chris, appreciate you joining the show. You're welcome to stick around if you'd like to.
By the way, Chris, great Halloween costume. Him and my sister went as Tom Hanks and Gina Davis.
Nice.
Rockford Peach and Jimmy Dugan, right?
Yep.
Did you have a big old chaw in when you did it too?
No, I was signing baseballs. Avoid the clap.
I understand. Did you hit your convict in the face with a baseball glove?
I got him good. Yeah.
As long as you got him good, because that kid needs it.
All right, Fatty. Any closing words before we head out?
Yeah, no. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate everything. Justin, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good time with us tonight. Sorry, I'm on. It's Halloween time for me, and I just have a blast with it. And the reason why I'm so excited is because I've been waiting to do this for like 2 years, and I finally got to do it. So I apologize for the over the top of 66 to -6, but I'm all right with it. So everybody have a great night. Thank you guys for watching, and click, subscribe, and like our show.
Until next time, go Browns.
Right.
Go Browns!